guys, and today we're going to be ranking every character in Super Smash Bros. Melee from worst to best. Now, before we get started, roll the intro. So, let's get started with the worst character on the list. We're going to be going through all 26 from worst to best. I am counting Zelda and Sheik as separate characters. I also have something else to say that you guys will probably disagree with this, but I am counting clones as separate characters because in Melee, I think most of them, the majority of them besides really Young Link and Roy and Marth, are pretty much exactly the same. Those are the only ones that are the same. I'm just separating clones all together. Further ado, let's get started. Also, we are going to be doing this list. I'm not going to be going through every one and telling my opinions on them because there's 26 characters in Melee. If you count clones and separate Zelda and Sheik, there's 26 characters. So, I'm going to be ranking them first best. I'm going to start with the worst and then go to the best. I'm not going to go down the line like Mario, I like him. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to go through worst and then best. So let's get started. The worst character in Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube is Bowser. Now, Bowser is hot garbage in this game. Reasons? Well, let me give this out of the way real quick. He is slow, and slow characters are absolute garbage in this game. He is the heaviest character in the game, so he barely moves at all. His attacks are so slow. His recovery is a bad character. The only thing this man has going for him is he is very strong.
And that's it.
Which if you're freaking slow, that's not the best thing. The worst character in the game.
I know he is.
It's not broken like he is in Ultimate in Smash 4 where just a random kid can pick him up and beat pro players. No. This isn't the Bowser we're talking about. We're talking about the garbage Bowser that growls like Godzilla with his taunts. Now moving on to the second worst character, number 25. We have Sheik. Now, before smashing that dislike button, I have to tell you guys, I hate Sheik, okay? All the games, Melee, Brawl, Smash 4, Ultimate, whichever game it's in, I hate Sheik. Sheik is just so weak. Sheik rhymes with side B in this game. It's
like Simon and Belmont.
Simon and Richter's whip from Ultimate. It's better, and you can do some crazy stuff in the ledge and stuff like stuff. But Sheik overall is really bad too. Recovery is better than Zelda's. However, movement is more fluid. I will give you that. And her recovery is better. And that's it. Everything else is better. She is terrible at getting kills. Her edge guarding is only good with the side B. She is one of the stupidest charge-up neutral Bs in the entire series in this game. And overall, just a boring character. And now moving on to the next character, we have Ganondorf. Now, Ganondorf... Captain Falcon is a good character, okay? But Ganondorf has completely copied all of his attacks in Melee. He is a complete clone, except he's slower and slightly stronger. You know anything about Melee, slow characters are not good. They're not bad either.
They're garbage.
Hence why Bowser was the worst character. Also, is Shinnok. is basically Captain Falcon clone. All of his animations are pretty much the same. I heard that he was like the last character they developed or something. But like, I mean, they give him extra voice stuff, but like, he like is complete Captain Falcon clone. Every game afterwards. Ultimate now, he's not too much of a Captain Falcon clone, but he's still in. Next up is Zelda. Now, I'm just hating all the Zelda characters. No, I'm sorry, it's 3 in a row, but still, Zelda is Sheik. They switch back and forth, which is cool mechanic. Time, Zelda's not good either. Zelda's recovery is very inconsistent, random as heck. However, her edge guards are amazing. All you gotta do, if you can somehow, and her down throw is pretty satisfying. Like back throw someone off the ledge or something, you just go for that side B, and it's really good unless they air dodge, which air dodging, you free fall in melee if you directional air dodge, so it's really good in this game. Samus, whoa, big surprise, I hated her in 64 too, but Samus in this game is pretty much, I had pretty much the exact same opinion on Samus as I did in 64. Except it adds her missile, so yay!
Yay! Yay!
Jigglypuff. Now Jigglypuff, I also ranked her as the worst character in my 64 predictions on the cards if you haven't already. It's somewhere in the top screen. Jigglypuff is still bad in this game. She's better than she was in 64 because she has a rollout now, which is a really fun move. Moving on is Pichu. Now Pikachu, but 10 times worse. He takes
Gosh dang recoil damage.
and he's a little bit faster, which makes him harder to control, and yeah, that's fun. Next up is Pikachu himself. Pikachu is pretty much the exact same thing as Pichu in this game. They are right at the middle of the tier. They are like average characters, don't really have too much opinion on Pikachu. Because Pikachu is just pretty much just okay. Still good nonetheless. Next up is Peach. Now Peach is really floaty, which is good. But you can SD very easily on stages like Poke Floats or Brinstar Depths or in Congo Falls. Because those stages, the hitbox are weird on the stage. And just has some reason like Peach, like her umbrella doesn't go too high, and if you face the wrong way, it won't recover. Also, if you use recovery on the Great Bay, she'll just sink on the ground. She has some pretty good combos overall, and she's all pretty solid character. Mr. Game & Watch. Here's the thing about Mr. Game & Watch. He's like a pretty good character. He has some pretty decent combos. Something about his moves just feels unfinished. It's like I feel like half of my moves I use with him don't even work. I think I hate him because of this reason. I don't care what you say, but he's the hardest character to unlock in the entire game. Because you have to complete every single character's target test, which is bull. Because that includes the garbage ones like Young Link, Pichu, and maybe Ganondorf. Really freaking hard. Those ones took me like 30 plus minutes to complete. Like an hour to figure out in Young Links that you have to throw Boomerang on the other side of the stage, slightly facing down, and then jump, and then it will go through the leaf thing, to hit the target. And that was
Ridiculous.
and he's the last character you unlock, which is, I mean, it makes sense, but Game & Watch is just really odd in this game. Sakurai's troll character in this game. Actually, Pichu probably is. Next up, Falco. I know I'm might get some hate for this one, but this guy, Fox is overpowered in melee. Falco is a clone of Fox. He is garbage, unlike Fox, because Falco is slower, his movement's very inconsistent, his edge guards are a little bit better, like a tiny bit, like barely. I'm not even joking. Ridiculous as they are now, dude. He's just like, his gun's slower, and to unlock him is pretty ridiculous too, because you gotta complete 100-man melee, which isn't very easy. It's pretty spam down B with Donkey Kong, or thing with Fox, the laser, the reflector, or down B with Donkey Kong. So yeah. Next up is Link. Now Link in this game is better than he was in 64 because 1, he has his arrow, 2, his Zair's way better, his grab's better because he has multiple throws now, and his recovery actually works. Let's move on. Young Link is up. Link is the same thing as Link. Young Link is, he has fire arrows, and he's a bit easier to control, lighter, and his moves follow a bit better, and his moves connect a bit better than Link's. And Yoshi. Now Yoshi in melee he's about the same as he was in 64. He's pretty solid character overall, but with the newcomers they did add in Melee, and Melee is definitely way more broken than 64 is. He a little bit outclassed, but still has insane air combos. If you can get a, if you can somehow hit your opponents in the air by either using a down throw or a up throw or something, and then just up air, or you can start with up tilt and then up air, back air. Back air goes very early, so good combo potential for Yoshi. Next up is Ness. Now I said in the 64 video, sorry for the plug, that I would include Ness, that I said Ness was average in that game. His ultimate move. So he's 10 times better. And his target test is pretty unique, that you have to use a PK Thunder for some moves to get them under control, which is pretty nice. Now Kirby in this game is better than he was in 64, also in my opinion. Because in this game he has his hammer, which is really powerful. I'm not even joking. Obviously you can't charge, you couldn't charge up until Smash 4. I don't think you could in Brawl. The hammer was really strong, and if you use it in midair it did like a spin thing, but the hammer is really good. He has his overpower, or he has his really unique neutral B where he sucks up players, and he has his uppy, his glowing uppy. Oh, crap. And he has his nice combos and stupid spikes. Now Luigi in this game, I'm a huge fan of Mario in this game. We'll get to that later. But Luigi is pretty much Mario. His dash attack's not too good. They made it better in Brawl. It's terrible. He just goes like rah on hitbox and just like goes crazy. He's really slippery too. I mean, he does have his green missile though, which makes it good. But that's a risk and reward situation. Moving on is Captain Falcon. Now I said that Captain Falcon was my favorite character in 64. Not my favorite character. He is my 9th favorite. A couple problems with Captain Falcon in this game. I always forget he's in the game. For some reason, I just forget about him most of the time. And, well, obviously Ganondorf's there, and he just copied all his attacks, but that has nothing to do with Captain Falcon himself. It's just Captain Falcon seems a little underwhelming in this game. More than he did. He's still good, but, like, he's not as good, in my opinion, at least. Feel free to disagree if you want to. Roy is basically Marth, except a little worse. He has it's pretty much just Fire Marth, and I prefer Marth to him. Speaking of Marth, we have Marth. We have Marth. Now Marth is good in this game. His grab range. Let me show you Marth's grab range. I'm gonna grab this mushroom. Here we go. Got it. Got it. That's how ridiculous his grab range is. Really good combos. He has some of the best tilt attacks in the game. Also, his aerials are pretty decent. Dancing Blade still is really hard to control. They didn't fix that until Ultimate, sadly. But counters a bit trickier to time in these games. This was back when counters were actually good because not all characters had them. Looking at you, Lucario, Palutena, and every single other Fire Emblem character, and some other characters I'm forgetting, so yay! Next up is Ice Climbers. Now, Ice Climbers, broken in this game. I personally am not good with them, but in this game, they are broken. If you just go watch your competitive videos of Ice Climbers in this game, the fact that Nana can grab and poke while Nana's grabbing, you can just keep like chaining it, and then like Popo can attack while she's doing the grab animation, and at high percents, that leads for really good kill confirms and stuff like that. So yeah, they also, I find their down B to be a little bit better in this game. It doesn't freeze as easily, but it at least hits both sides, as opposed to nowadays in Ultimate it only hits one side. I'm not actually sure if it does that in Brawl or not. I have to go check that out, but I'm not sure. But I know it does it in Ultimate. Next up is Mario. Now, as I talked about earlier, I said Mario is really good in this game when I was talking about Luigi. He's pretty much just Luigi. Again, he doesn't have his flood pack, which is great. He has his cape in, which isn't too much, but hey, it's there. And his dash attack's better. He just overall, he feels very fluid, which is great for Melee because most of the characters that are big and heavy are slow. Donkey Kong is slow, okay? But there's something about him that's really good. He's not as slow as Ganondorf and Bowser and Zelda that do suffer from slowness. Overall, just Donkey Kong, but he's pretty fast for a heavy character. And he's really powerful. He still is his grab is just OP. It's always been OP, it always will be OP. Combos with Donkey Kong, just keep your opponents in the air, and air dodging was really not safe back in Melee. Next up, this is kind of controversial. Yes, I'm putting Fox in number 3. Oh, we need to save for this. I know Fox is overpowered and stuff. But I'm personally not too great with him. I'm not the biggest fan of him. The biggest reason Fox is so good is because he's so fast. He's Sonic of Melee. At the same time, at times he could be a bit too fast. And I SD with him a lot. First time I played this game, I didn't even realize that you free fall after using the side B, because I kept using it for cover and then I thought you could use the up B back up, but you actually can't. However, the gun, reflector, and his air combos, and just combos in general, with all of his grabs and things, off the charts. Moving on, we have Mewtwo. Now, I have a little bit of a story to tell you guys. Now, when I first got this game, I was going to actually unlock every character first day. I looked up guides on how to do them. Most of them were simple. Like, Marth plays every original character in one versus match. Got it. Easy. Dr. Mario, beat classic mode as Mario. Simple. Young Link, play with 10 characters in classic mode. Time consuming, but doable. Luigi, complete the first thing of adventure mode with 2 on the clock. Kind of obscure, but okay, that's not that hard. Falco, complete 100-man melee. Took 20 minutes. Well, after you're done with that, you gotta unlock more characters. Pichu is easy too. It's just he's very time consuming because you gotta go through all events. I don't know why people complain that Pichu's unlocking Pichu is so hard. All you gotta do is beat that one event 37. They say it's so hard. It's not that hard. All you gotta do is just, as long as you're picking up more Pokeballs and Jigglypuff, you're gonna win. Because all the legendaries will just defeat Jigglypuff and all the wireframe people. Mr. Game & Watch was ridiculous as well, because you had to complete target tests with every single freaking character, which includes Young Link, Pichu, Ganondorf, and Falco. It includes Falco. None of those are on the same level of ridiculous as Mewtwo. To unlock Mewtwo, you must play 20 hours of versus matches, considering you have one controller. Obviously, if you have, I believe if you have 4, it's like 5, it's 6.5. If you have 3, if you have 2, it's 10. If you have 1, it's 20. I have 2, so I need to go on one single match for 10 hours until I got Mewtwo. It's ridiculous. On top of the Mr. Game & Watch thing I was going for earlier, you have to complete Mewtwo includes, so you have to have Mewtwo first, so you can't get Mr. Game & Watch until you have all the characters. On top of that, you gotta go do all the target tests, which I waited till afterwards, which took me 4 hours to complete, so that's fun. Oh, Mewtwo's a pretty good character. Great back air, by the way, off the best character in Melee, in my opinion, is Dr. Mario. Because he is good. He's my main, okay? Yeah. See you guys in the next one. Oh, feel free to click some links on screen right now to see the 64 Smash 64 rank from worst to best. And the, and why don't you check out Dad's Secret Life while you're at it. So, thank you for watching. Sorry this video was a little crazier than what I'm used to, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.